This week, No Man's Sky gets closer to the horizon. We go back to our Coregrounds and move back to Stardew Valley. There are also other things that we are talking about later in episode 83 of the Indie Game Riot. Indie Game Riot!
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and we're here, episode 83. I almost forgot what number it was. It's getting to that point where we're getting up there, so it's just like it's all blurring together, the numbers.
Yeah.
Or it's just because I have a cold, but I'll get into that in a little bit. And but yeah, episode 83. We got some good games to talk about today.
Yep.
And excuse my, I'm going to talk about it now. Just to get out of the way. I have a cold.
Go ahead.
And this whole week has just been me crawling under my sheets and sleeping away headaches and coughs and snot and gross things, and you can still hear it. I'm going to cough a lot during this. I might sneeze often. And
unacceptable.
You can
Josh.
hear it.
Absolutely unacceptable.
I have the gravelly, missing half my voice type of thing.
Almost like you just woke up.
Oh man, you should. Well, when I wake up because my nose is like clogged. I wake up and I guess I've been breathing through my mouth all night, and my lips are so chapped that, and my throat is so sore. It looks like I just walked out of freaking the Sahara Desert without drinking anything for 2 days. I forget how long it actually worked.
Oh man, there was a point in time for like 2 or 3 months where I would wake up multiple times in the middle of the night and my mouth would just be bone dry to the point where like I felt like there was something wrong with my mouth, and then it just went away one day.
That's how it's been for me for a while, but it's worse now because I'm sick. And we even got a humidifier, and it works for a little bit.
Okay, see, here's I don't hold to the humidifiers because we got a humidifier, and that's when I started developing dry mouth in my sleep.
Well, you're also supposed to get a cool air humidifier. I wonder if
it is.
It is.
Yeah.
We also have the Vicks.
Does that help at all? No.
Sometimes it depends on which ones you get. It seemed like it helped at first.
That sounds kind of bad. Like I don't want that stuff getting in my eyes.
I don't think it does that, but it does anything in your eyes. But,
just take a really hot shower.
But that's
have
only
you tried? This has all of a sudden become like a doctor podcast. have you tried taking like a mucus reducer?
No.
Okay.
Have you tried fisting?
Have you tried going
what about
from
archery?
Yeah.
I've heard meth helps.
Yeah. Meth helps with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like those pesky teeth.
Yep.
Can't be having those. That's meth.
So yeah, that's apologize. Apologize for things not being done this past week. I got the episode out late from last week, and
it's okay.
It's been
I
shitty.
feel you.
So anyway, speaking of shitty, you guys go ahead.
So I'll talk about how it looks shitty behind me. So I made a decision. I had too much furniture in my room, and all it was being used for is to put shit on top of it. That's all it was. It was like, I got this thing. I don't know where to just on the chair, and I've been doing that. Because like you do that, and then you go to
where
bed.
You put it though? On the floor.
Well, see, right now all of it's on my bed, and we're trying to organize it. But I got the chair out. I don't know if you can see that. I'm watching the street. Yeah. So there used to be a chair where that outlet is, and then this cabinet we moved closer this way, and then there was a dresser off hiding behind my green screen that we replaced with a table with some buckets, because I wasn't using that dresser. There were clothes in there from like fucking
ninth
the one with
grade. The Sailor Moon figure on it.
Yeah, it is. Those are Jessie's.
Yeah, okay.
By the way.
Yep.
No, for real.
Sure.
But hey, they're cool. All right.
You secretly cosplay as the Sailor Moon.
Yeah, secretly. Yeah.
I like this.
I don't.
But yeah,
I like this. I would to that.
I also bought Dominion. Like I actually bought. Like I finally did it.
Dominion.
Do you guys know about Dominion?
Isn't that like a?
It's a deck building card game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
For 2 to 4 players you could totally play with 6.
Is it digital or you got the physical?
I bought the big box, so it's the core game and then Prosperity and then Alchemy.
copy.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because I have it on Steam.
Oh, cool! I didn't know they had a Steam version.
Yeah, I got it through like
Dominion's fun. I also have a Betrayal at House on the Hill coming in the mail. And I also have
I'm coming down to visit you.
Okay, I also have Fun Employed coming in the mail. Because I had this like week where I was just like, I need more board games. Like there are board games that I need to buy.
We're gonna do a game night.
We
or
are
something.
totally.
I want to come down and visit.
Yeah,
I was actually in Maryland recently. I was in Hagerstown, so I wasn't too far.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's where Jesse's parents live.
Yeah, I was there visiting. If you remember Casey.
Yeah, you moved down there.
Yeah. Anyway, Rev.
That's a nice place. It's not too bad. Rev.
What? Oh, sorry. Work.
No one cares. Anyway, moving on.
What?
Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sure.
I'll talk about it between the segments.
Okay. No, I did. I did a bunch of work, and there was a really interesting. I fixed a electrical issue today for the old folks' home.
You set it on fire.
It doesn't sound like that's part of your job.
It really isn't.
And then you had to. And then they were short on nurses, so they had you just wiping old people's asses.
Yeah, sure. No, so like I get a call yesterday. Or I get asked to swing by for an absolute emergency because they have the hospital there on the old folks home, and they have the nurse's call button, like the button that the patients will press, and it triggers a thing and alarms, and people are like, "Oh, go check the dying people." So that system apparently died, and it was an absolute emergency that they had to have it. And I was like, "What did you guys do before this was invented?" Because this rest home / hospital thing's been around since like 1920, and they were like, well, we gave them bells. And I was like, okay, so that sounds like a workaround for now. But they're like, no, seriously, can you get your ass out here?
What was wrong with it?
So
like I can't imagine that it's anything other than a button push going to a really weak computer, telling it where it came from, and then putting out a message.
Exactly, but the really weak computer was a thin client that was booting off of a USB stick that ran. Not even like a full on anything. Like it was a functional OS plus the application. The whole thing was 50 megs in size.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Like it's a puppy Linux, I think.
I believe that it could run on a USB too. I totally think it could. Yeah.
But the hardware itself popped. Like I was standing there, was looking through logs because I had powered it on and was looking through logs and was trying to track down what might have been the cause, and assuming it was a software issue. And then I hear pop and an acrid smoke and everything goes down. And I was like, oh, well, I think it's dead. So I get it back to my office. Was it like a heat
issue?
Just bang on it.
It was like a 13-year-old mini computer. The processor was a 4 meg processor.
Oh,
not like not even a full processor. It was a 4 meg flash chip.
So we're like the capacitors just exploding on it.
It was just ridiculous. Yeah, and there might have been a short in something else because
that's probably why the capacitors started exploding.
Because like they had it split out to going the video feed goes out to 3 different monitors across the thing, and instead of like having a functional system that you can plug in multiple monitors into, like they took a Cat5 cable and spliced it into a serial COM port adapter. And then
hey, that's kind of clever though.
No, it really is. And then wired power into that same adapter and plugged that in. So yeah, It corrupted the USB drive that it was booting off of, and I was able to reclaim that, and then we took a spare workstation I had kicking around that wasn't doing anything, and was able to successfully get it up and running on that. But then I had to do the adapter resplicing thing, and yeah, it was an interesting day.
That is interesting.
I have no idea what half the stuff you said, but you know what else is interesting?
Doing an indie news injection.
Are you bored with the same old games?
Yeah.
Why, then give yourself an indie news injection.
Thanks, Indie Games.
All right, this week on Indie News Injection, the first thing we're going to talk about is something called Indie Couch. This is actually a really cool idea, and not only because it's for indie devs, but I feel like this would work for us as well.
Yeah.
But say you're an indie dev who wants to show off your game at MagFest, so somewhere around DC. So you could go on to Indie Couch, find a fellow indie dev or someone who's in the industry who lives in the DC area and is willing to let you come over and sleep in their place. Generally, it's a couch, hence the name Indie Couch. But some people, if you're looking on the front page, like there's someone from place I can pronounce, Cape Town. There's a guy from Cape Town who his name is Francois. He's a developer. He's offering his couch if there's a place in Cape Town that you need to go. And it's all over the world. So obviously, Cape Town is in South Africa. That's what I'm trying to say. But also people have like bunk beds and probably separate rooms altogether, that sort of stuff. So I thought it's completely free. You just go do it, and it's super helpful. So say not saying, I don't know, not put tech on the spot, but say again MagFest, and tech's an hour away. It's still a drive, but it's better than paying. Say tech was like, hey, Nate from Undercog or Rick from Underbite, you guys need a place to stay. If you can't afford a hotel, crash on my couch, or you actually have a separate bed, which is where I stayed when I was there. So you could sign up for this site and say that you're available for fellow indie devs. The one thing that's a little weird, of course, in my mind, is that you don't always know these people. So there's that. And
they're gonna be using an app called Indie Couch, so they're gonna be a little bit weird.
So
not probably weird by our standards, and especially like completely normal by Rev standards. But
there's the
compared to the average
here,
person.
The first person on here from Willischaw has a hammock. Is that what that is?
That's what it appears to be.
That's weird. I don't know if I would go for that, but hey.
Okay, so here's... I kind of like the idea. I'm a big fan of crowdsourcing and
well, if you take out the
share economy.
If you take out the possibility of psychos.
No, even ignoring that entirely. Like, I have no problem with that. I'm a couch surfer, and I have no problem driving across country and crashing on somebody's couch at 2:00 in the morning, before we go to too many games.
Right.
So I don't to me that's not even an issue. The part that I'm mildly bothered about is they're doing a Kickstarter for it.
That's
IndieCouch.org, free accommodation for indie devs. Please pledge $10,024 is their goal.
So what I'm assuming,
I'm on their thing right now. I'm trying to find out where the money's going. All right, 42% of that's going to hiring a second programmer to get the thing moving more.
To get what thing?
The app.
The app.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have living expensive gaming events, payment processing, and business advice.
So
that seems a little vague.
So there is that, but I'm the reason I even brought it up is because the idea of it.
No, I love the idea.
Yeah, I like the idea too.
I really do. I'm not sure I
can
appreciate the implementation.
I mean, $10,000 really isn't that much when you're talking about business advice
Developing.
and
Yeah.
developing and things like that, and hiring people. To be honest, if they wanted to, grab money and run, and they want to give it for business advice, so an advisor would cost more than $10,000 over the course of however long that they're going to need it for, generally speaking, unless they just have a friend they want to pay. But I mean, I feel I feel like they could ask for more than $10,000 in that case.
It also looks like they're trying to make sure that they build in enough safety, because they have address and phone number verification. Like, that address verification is a physical thing that you mail, and the return address is the thing, and if it doesn't go through, I guess you're not verified. You verify your phone number. I'm
hoping
there are references for the user, so you can see how many people are.
That's why I'm hoping that they have a good amount of fail-safes. Because I mean,
see, here's the problem that I have with this. If you're going to be doing something for the betterment of the community, I think you should just do that. Like he says right here, a piece of this cake, the proverbial financial cake, will be used for myself. I will use the money to rent a cheap flat, because right now I'm living and working in a hostel. So he quit his job, moved out, became homeless, and then I love the idea. The implementation
so
of
what
it
what if they were like, here's a Patreon for anybody who wants to support it. We're indies too. Help us out.
I think I would feel better about that.
Yeah, but I mean, you still need that. First of all, I mean, we should know it's hard to get a Patreon up and running to the point where you can live off of it.
Yeah.
And I think that this $10,000 will at least give them the boost needed to get on their feet in the first place, and then after that, have people support however they need to. I don't know if they're going to have ads or anything like that as well.
Okay, here's actually a really important question. Just also towards Rev. Do you know somebody who would be able to build the website that they are talking about, that trying to build?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
There's a ton of app developers out there.
If ow, fuck, Phoenix, shit, she's clawing my back. I'm sorry. What was I talking about? I was talking about and to keep up a website like this, we know, it's a little expensive, but it's doable. I can understand why $10,000 looks like a lot, because we operate a website.
He doesn't have a job.
It's not even a matter. It's not even a matter of
the money,
the amount.
It's a matter.
For me, there's the principle of that. I'm a big fan. I'm a big proponent of the share economy, and that's not hey, you pay me and I'll do something to make it easier for everybody to do this share economy. It's, hey, this is what I have and I'm giving it out and allowing access to it. That, it's almost like the core principle of the sharing economy is being twisted just slightly. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see where you're going.
Here's what they say as to why they're using Kickstarter. It says, we decided against big investors because it just didn't feel right and thought Kickstarter would be the ideal place to see how many people are truly invested in the idea and also to spread the word about it. It says they all have day jobs with money pledged, so they're hoping that this money will also speed things up in order to get things up and running for Indie Couch, and also to make sure everything's legally fine. And
that's actually a pretty good
to get
thing.
More feedback to make it to the way that the users want it to be.
I don't my
professional
natural
background.
I went full indie in 2015, meaning I quit a well-paid job, gave up my flat, and sold almost all of my belongings. I started working as a volunteer in exchange for food and accommodations. I don't know. Something about this, and the only thing that I can put it on my put to words is, great. This guy was willing to give up
his entire life in order to try and make this happen. But now he's asking us to pay for it.
But not fully.
No,
it's just
he is. It is fully. He's going to be renting. He's going to be renting an apartment.
It's only for like the first year or so.
Where does it say that?
How much do you think apartments cost?
In Switzerland?
Oh yeah.
Average
even just a small studio
bed, bedroom flat in
no matter what, there's an end to where the $10,000 is
right.
going.
No, but it's not the amount.
Well,
I would be having the same issue if it was $100 that he was asking.
Well, but see, Rev, here's another thing too. You can use the site now. It's just an alpha. I think they're like being like, "Hey, this is a really cool thing that we're making. Let's like make this actually like happen bigger."
I don't know. I don't have a problem with him asking for money. The only questionable thing for me is it safe enough, because people are crazy.
He has no control over that whatsoever. I mean, this
is
the same thing.
His company it's up to his company to screen people.
Yeah. I think that's
to the best of their ability.
No, they don't need to, and that puts. You want to talk about what's going to cost them a lot of money, making sure that all of their shit's in a row to do that. You know how Couchsurfing got around that? They put a big banner at the top that says, "Hey, we're just acting as the search engine."
So if you get hacked to pieces.
You accept the risk when you use the Couchsurfing website to get in contact with somebody. I know, I've used it, I've hosted, but when you do that, like, you are informed in multiple places, hey, we don't do anything, like, this is all publicly vetted. You know, other people might have a positive review, others may not. You are accepting the risk on that. You can't sue Couchsurfing because your host robbed you. I know, because I had people that have tried.
Is it bad too that I'm looking at this and just automatically judging people at first sight?
Well, no. That is bad on you. But I mean, like like I said, I love the idea. It's a independent game development spin on Couchsurfing, which I loved the original idea behind. My problem is it's just there's something about, hey, support me so I can keep working on this, that rubs me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm saying it rubs me wrong.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what else is weird?
What else is weird?
Finally having a release date to No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Well, it's not weird. It's good.
Tech.
What?
Isn't that yours?
Oh, yeah. It is. No Man's Sky is now available for pre-order on Steam, and I'm assuming also on PS4. It has to be, right?
Oh, yeah.
I am so excited about this.
Yeah.
I've
definitely.
I've been watching this for so long, and then, of course, they pushed back the release date, so it's great to have something solid now. But this game, we were talking about this in between segments, but this game might be the game that I would be like, I'd buy a VR specifically for. And there's other games I would use for the VR, but this is the game that I'd be like, this is the one.
This is the Halo 3 for Xbox 360.
Yeah. Like, it's so cool. I just want to play it. I want to play it, and I want to have a VR headset on. And you know what's crazy, too? It's $60.
I know. I wanted to point this out, too, because we talked about price, right?
Thank you.
The past couple of weeks. $60 is totally worth it for me.
Well, that's because I feel like there's a lot of game here.
It's
I feel like
infinite game.
That's worth.
It's not even about replayability. This is literal.
Okay, you do not know that. You're making the assumption based on marketing.
Okay. They said what they said specifically.
Spore also said it was an infinite game.
What they said specifically was that there are like some quintillion something amounts of combinations of plants and animals and things like that could be procedurally generated, in order for everything to be discovered inside of this game, it would take like multiple lifetimes of multiple people to discover all this stuff. So even if it's not literally infinite, it might as well be.
So they say.
So
Yeah.
I don't doubt them. But I'm playing devil's advocate tonight.
well, once they throw out a solid number, then they're just falsely advertising, in which case they get in trouble.
But my point said, like, you're making an assumption based on nothing at this point. You're making an assumption based on trailers, some interviews, and an appearance on the Colbert Show.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're judging, and it's but it's
Yeah, but I mean, they have been talking about this for a while.
I get that. How long was Spore, or let's say the Fable series?
Okay, to be fair,
this is not the first. This is not.
No,
the
you're right.
first
Yep.
It says there's infinite possibilities, and you can do blah blah blah. Like there are lots.
To be fair, this could end up like Destiny.
Exactly.
What? No.
Well, I don't think it.
No,
Now you're talking about
what
completely different game mechanics. Don't
No, okay,
compare
okay. What
Destiny.
about whatever came about of Elite Dangerous?
My boss, the owner of my company, is playing that game like mad. He absolutely loves it. His entire family is hooked on it, and he keeps trying to get me hooked on it. It's very similar in terms.
I think it's a less feature rich game.
Speaking of comparing to other games, what do you think between No Man's Sky and Star Citizen?
Oh, No Man's Sky. Star Citizen's never going to come out.
Really?
I genuinely believe that
Citizen
Star Citizen's never going to come out.
Like, as far as like funding goes, Star Citizen is like way beyond. They better fucking come out at some point.
Here's the problem, and I guess we can talk about.
Well, okay, before we do that, let's throw in some details. It's $60, and based on nothing but marketing, Josh says, "Yep, that's totally acceptable. I will totally pay that. That's not a line." Additionally, the game comes out June 21st.
Yeah,
Yep.
so 3 months from now.
3 months. Okay, you were saying.
Yeah. Let's talk about scope.
There is a pre-purchase advantage, by the way. You get some sort of extra crap when you start.
Oh,
Just throwing that out.
You get a
I don't
ship.
like Oh,
You
really?
get like an extra. You
fuck
get
it.
like. It's like supposed to be a little bit faster, and it's like a little bit. It's not like a huge advantage, but
Yeah.
it does give
It
you
has
something.
an upgraded hyperdrive and increased firepower to help you drive faster and survive longer.
There you go.
Well, hey, at least you're not paying more for it.
No, I agree.
You know, so
Now, I don't want to go into too much detail
Yeah.
about No Man's Sky.
Well, but-
I wanted to talk about more like opinions.
well, so let me.
'Cause I'm sure
let me-
we're gonna
let me
talk
bring
about it when it
back-
comes
Let
out.
me bring back scope here.
Okay.
So we've talked about a lot of indie games and a lot of indie games with very successful Kickstarters moving out to shipping a relatively successful game. Here's the thing. They knew what they want. They had a vision, they had a box that they were going to fill with all this cool shit, and then they did it. The problem with Star Citizen, which is, I'm talking about this because it's very comparable to No Man's Sky in some ways, is that Star Citizen was just like, boxes? No. This is space, guys. Here's the thing. They've made what, like almost $1 billion? Like, I'm not even kidding.
It's
like,
in the
like,
hundreds of millions, yeah.
it's hundreds of millions of dollars. Where's the game? Like where is it? Why is everybody complaining constantly about it? Like that's all the subreddit
And there
is.
is game to
for
play.
Star
It's just
Citizen.
alpha or even pre-alpha.
But it's like what are they doing? Why can't, instead of charging people money, just
But is
make,
Star Citizen
like,
using this? Because No Man's Sky, basically, to dumb it down, they're saying basically they're using algorithms to procedurally generate and have these things that they don't even know what's going to show up.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So is Star Citizen doing the same thing, or are they building it out to that scope themselves? You know what I
I
mean?
have no idea. They must be building it out, but I don't understand why.
Maybe they don't know math.
It's more like features. So I don't think I'm almost positive you're not going to be able to board other people's ships in this game. I'm pretty positive that there are going to be some things in this game that aren't as built up as much as some people want. Basically, it's a ship game and an exploration game, and then
an
all the other
game.
and sort of But like,
It looks awesome.
it's
I
being
don't care.
made. It's getting done.
No,
It's coming out. Like,
I'm so excited for this, and again, like I have to put this on record, especially after our last little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yep.
I'm playing a role at the moment that because based on our conversations, we need to have that. Like, yes, I'm going to be getting this game, no questions asked. On the 15th, if my wife approves the checkbook use, I will be spending the $60 to pre-order this game. But No, you don't sound like a bitch. You just sound like somebody who's fiscally responsible.
Yeah, I was about to say fiscally responsible is about
A
what that
fiscally
sounds
responsible bitch. I'm just kidding. Don't tell her I said that.
No. Tech says no. You
Don't
sound
tell her I
fiscally
said that.
responsible.
She's gonna come here and kill
She
me.
keeps my spending in check because otherwise we would be homeless and running a Kickstarter to pay my rent.
Meanwhile, 6 TVs, all of them HD.
But I love. There is nothing about this game that doesn't hook me, and I have been a fan of it since the beginning. I'm excited for this. I really am. Some people are griping about the price, and to them I say fuck off. Except to Josh, if he were to gripe about it, I would say no, fuck off, because you deserve it.
I'm not going to gripe about this one because.
What if it was $85?
Hey, to be fair,
I think this game, if it is truly as big as they're saying it is, and as much just playtime that you can put into it, and depending on how much you can actually do other than explore, I would say it's worth 3 digits. It's
you would pay $100 or more for this game.
If it is the most I can expect.
$400.
No. But that's simply because
multiple lifetimes of.
But that's simply because I can't afford it. That's if I have $400, I mean that's like most of my rent. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think the price is fine.
No, I agree. Somebody was Josh got involved in that conversation as did you
on Twitter
slightly on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, what's the first indie game that's going to hit $100? And why do we care?
It's
like,
probably
why
Star
can't
Citizen.
Star Citizen?
Yeah, really.
But that
people
was
already dropping hundreds of dollars on ships.
That whole thing, we were talking, just for reference, people listening, on Steam. We were talking to past episodes we were talking about price of games and what makes it what determines a price point for everyone. Yeah. But on Twitter, Steam Spy, whoever runs that, brought up the price of No Man's Sky when it was announced, and then people were complaining in the thread on Twitter. And I got involved with the IGR Twitter account, and I was like, well, why? Because people were like, it's an indie game. It shouldn't cost $60. I'm like, why? Because it's an indie game? How come this game is bigger and prettier than some AAA games? You know what I mean? And why can't they charge the same amount as a AAA game? And people were bringing up some valid points, but at the same time, it's like this particular game, it has every right to charge $60.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Especially after we talked about that one article from Brigador devs that, what goes into making a game. Yep. And that, like I said, it did actually change how I think about it, which is why I even gotten involved in that. But also this game particularly just has a lot in it. But,
well, so let's think of, I just want to confirm, Ark Survival Evolved is half the price of No Man's Sky. I feel as though No Man's Sky,
Minecraft is $10. What's the difference?
True. That's no. There are differences.
No, you have an endlessly procedurally generated universe.
Well,
in which,
not in the same way.
Not. You're talking about you have endlessly.
First of all, there is an end. They're talking about this like Tim Donnelly bosses.
First of all, there is an end. There is an end because someone's actually made it to the end of a Minecraft world. And it's only a world. It's this guy is literally. They made a joke on the Colbert Show about how he is basically God. Like he has created a literal universe full of creatures that is mostly infinite. Like as far as we know, as far as we can tell, it's infinite. And he doesn't even know what's out there. Like that's how big and huge this is. And he gets surprised when he comes across things every single time he plays it. So Minecraft is just a world that actually does have an end because people have gotten to the end of the world.
Not easily, though.
No, it took a long time, but they did. And it's the same stuff no matter where you go. It's the same pigs, same mobs, all that sort of stuff. To
be fair, though, I don't think that every single...
There's no spaceships.
I do think that every single world isn't going to be as content-rich as Minecraft.
Well, but that's not my point.
Well, not every
my
single
point
world
is
in the
if you're
universe
trying
is
to
livable.
if you're trying to make a direct correlation between expansibility and price, you have Minecraft, in which you can literally build a functioning computer.
Yes.
That is $10, and this game, which
it's
is
also
$60.
not $10. It's like, what is it? It's like at least
$10 on Xbox Live.
Oh, that's because it's
Xbox.
But
you can't.
That's because
build
it's
a
Xbox.
computer on
That's
Xbox
shit.
Live.
Xbox Minecraft sucks.
Okay, how much is it? I'm searching for it right now.
I think it's like $30.
I think it's like 30.
I paid 15, I believe.
But also, when you buy it in beta, it was cheaper.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Cheaper in alpha.
Okay, it is $25.
25.
Okay. Yeah. $26.95.
That's
So
weird.
you either have the locked in map and Ark, but all that fun stuff. I was just bringing Ark up because it's one of those.
It's
one of the largest independent online games that's out there. It's one of the most played games on Steam at all right now, and like I can understand the price difference because Ark for me, like I'm not too big into it, but there is like a lot of like micro game there. I think this has a lot more like macro game. But that depends on it. But I definitely think that this game might make a lot of people really bored really quick. Maybe.
That's why I mentioned, like, if it were to exceed or get to those high expectations that we're hoping for,
yeah,
triple digits, I would be okay with. But then you mentioned, like, and people were like jokingly, but still, like, it's kind of true. It could just be one big walking simulator or flight simulator. It depends because no one really knows. It seems like it's extremely fluid, and I'm hoping that they will make it so that you're not totally alone and that there are things to do other than just naming animals like freaking Adam and Eve up in there. But
I want to make it very, very clear to anybody that watches this episode. I have no doubts behind this game. For this game, like I am putting my money down on it as soon as I can fiscally do so. I don't care. The game has drawn me to that level.
I really want it, and like
I want it too.
And the fact that it makes me want to just buy VR
now,
for that specifically.
Will No Man's Sky have crossplay between PC and PS4?
Was it this game? I heard there was a game that recently had that, but I forget if it was this game or not.
I don't recall. I haven't heard anything on it.
Well, while we talk about the next thing in the news, I will look that up and get back to you.
And fix your mic.
Yeah.
Is it wrong? What's wrong with it?
It's all weird. But go ahead, Rev.
Oh, really?
Okay. So next up, we have GameStop trying to latch on to that indie teat, sucking indie dick, as it were. Most people know GameStop as that the pushy store that tries to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need and pre-orders for everything. I read an interesting idea the other day for using GameStops as a bank. I'll share that in between segments. But basically, the purpose of this is they have established a $10 million fund to help indie game developers. I think it's being done in a way to help their failing image.
It's like a PR stunt, basically.
They're the Blockbuster of video games at this point. But they're pledging $10 million to help independent game... sorry.
You think they'll crash and burn like Blockbuster did?
Rephrase. Independent mobile game developers. So they've partnered with Congregate, who they purchased 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago.
2010.
Yeah. So they're going to be running it through Congregate, and they'll be offering financial services, consultation, and marketing support, as well as the distribution platform, which Congregate apparently, 15 million monthly unique visitors to Congregate. I haven't been there in years.
We were there last year because
of one of the free fun games.
It was the one for IRX that we played.
Oh, was it?
Evil Dogs game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was the one time.
But yeah, so you'll have that, their mobile app, the company's website, and their 6,000 stores. I don't see mobile games being sold well at a game store.
There's GameStop is confusing me. Like, I understand they're grasping at straws too because physical things are kind of dying, and just also people are getting just like sick of GameStop's bullshit in general. But they're doing weird things. Like, it'd be one thing if they did this like for indie games and they started, helping digital PC indie games and stuff like that. But they are so concentrated on things like mobile. Like, they're buying iPads and phones. They're buying, and now they're selling mobile games.
Well, part of it might be that the one of the driving forces behind this is Panayoti Heritatos, the former general manager of Zynga Games. He quit that scam company and became the founder and CEO of Urban Squall, which was then reverse that. He was the founder and CEO of Urban Squall, and then they got bought by Zynga. Now he's working with GameStop. So, I think that might play a bit of a role in that. I will say this: the fact that they're putting up $10 million for it, I think, is much better and says more in the long term than Taco Bell's you get to have a private forum with some YouTube personalities.
That was weird. That was like
yeah.
That's like an old person trying to get into rap, like, we're hip, But
but at the same time, like, I will say that, is my mic sounding better, by the way?
No.
Really? Like, what's wrong with it?
We're gonna deal with it
we'll do
between
it
seconds.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
But so, like, mobile games, they obviously see that mobile games are making tons of money, and they're probably going to get that investment back.
Oh, easily.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
They're partnering with somebody. I think they're going to do it. Yes, it is weird. It is.
I'm just saying
ridiculous.
it'll be really easy for somebody for them to set up a way where you can get like a printable QR code. Like, there's a card in a GameStop, you pull it down, like, this is the app I want, and you just scan it with the thing with your phone, and you're like, all right, cool, I got it. Push a button.
Who? Why? People, that's why you go onto the freaking app store.
Yeah, but hey, people, if you're going into a GameStop,
people aren't looking for that. If you're going into a GameStop.
Hey,
who?
It's the iTunes effect. If
who?
you put when iTunes launched, you could put a song on iTunes and people would buy it.
No, he's got a point. I wouldn't, because I was an Napster kid. Somebody.
Not enough. But
you could. How do you think the 12-year-old who did the song about Fridays, like
she made money off of YouTube.
She has a record deal. She had
Well, now.
Right, but that's the thing. If this gets a mobile developer, like how about Rick's game, Heroes Quest? No, Heroes Guard.
The only way that I could see this working is if they promote the shit out of it. But if they just have a library of mobile, say, QR codes with the icon on it. Yeah. People aren't going to be sifting through those. They were like, let's see what they have here, because they could do the same damn thing on their phone.
Well, no, I'm not talking about having a bunch. I'm talking about having
What I think they'll do is that they'll probably use them as some sort of incentive, like how they do with the pro membership.
Oh, okay,
gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Stuffed up. I think that's maybe the closest thing that they could do. I just think it's a stupid thing. Well, not to mention that Zynga is basically failed. I mean, it's not bankrupt, but it's basically failed.
It's morally bankrupt.
It is morally bankrupt, yeah.
It's not bankrupt?
Starting a riot? Recording. 3, 2, 1. This week for Starting the Riot, we are talking about a game that has been came out of nowhere. It took over YouTube and other places by storm, called Stardew Valley. If I can get the gameplay up and running, because I'm an idiot and out of it right now. So let's do that. There we go. So and of course I forgot to mute it too. So sorry, I'm bad at my job today in particular. But anyway, Stardew Valley is if you're into Harvest Moon, heavily Harvest Moon inspired, with a look and feel of Terraria, if you've played it at all.
Yeah.
And also a little bit of Animal Crossing, just a tiny bit, with like some of the social interactions in there.
Yeah. And also sort of the style.
Oh.
I mean, obviously it's not like a 3D isometric, but it's more of like a 2D isometric.
Yeah, kind of. It's like an RPG Maker kind of view.
Yeah, RPG Maker. Yeah, this game, like, the first time I saw this game, I was just like, wow, it's amazing what people can do with RPG Maker.
Yeah.
And, like, even still, I look at it, knowing RPG Maker fairly well, and I'm like, I know you can't do that in RPG Maker.
It's kind of weird because
a lot like RPG Maker.
It's kind of weird because it gives you this really retro feel, like that sort of. But at the same time, the animations are super smooth and things like that, so you can tell it's obviously modernized.
And like mouse control and stuff. Yeah. No, they. When I first saw it, I looked up. It's like, what is this? Is this an RPG Maker game? And it's like, no, it's like I think it's like a C+ game or something. Or
so if you've never played Harvest Moon or anything like that, or don't know what it is, basically, it's all kind of revolves around farming and harvesting, finding people to interact with, and you give them gifts. Sometimes I think you can get girlfriends or boyfriends.
Yeah, you can marry somebody from the community, and
in this game in particular, the whole spiel is that you are a guy who was bequeathed a farm by your grandfather.
Yep.
And
which
you
is
sick of
literally
modern
the story.
life.
It's literally the story of Harvest. Well, not literally, but it's very close to the Harvest Moon story.
The other thing that kind of differentiates this is that there's like a crafting type of thing involved.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more customizable, things like that. I think the reason that it's really taking off is because it's
so similar to
really
other games.
hitting people that love Harvest Moon, but it's adding on top of it.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I mean, you seem like you're kind of perturbed by the fact that.
I mean, like, I think it's just me.
There's
like,
also combat
really
involved,
just me.
by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing that I'm sort of interested in. But like then, the perspective for me just doesn't really do it. And like, yeah, like I want to do that, but at the same time, like I have problems in No Moria trying to figure out where my mouse is sometimes. And I played that game for like almost like 60, 70 hours. Like I could probably get used to it, but this is just gripes for me. I have no doubt that this game would be excessively fun.
I honestly just watching what I've seen of it, this is, I don't know as I would necessarily have the patience and a whole lot of fun in it, but I definitely know that like my family would.
Well, there's that's the thing. There's actually, you don't have to do the farming in order to play this game and succeed. There's a bunch of different ways to play it, and there's it's for casual gamers like your wife, but also if you want to, you can take it more seriously and more hardcore and really do everything you possibly can. If you make it efficient and make as much money as you can and gain the best relationship status with everyone that you can, all that sort of stuff. So, which
isn't really one of my like I said, like I'm not seeing anything bad about this. I'm just it for me personally, I would play it and I would put a good solid amount of time into it, but I wouldn't, like, this wouldn't be the game that I return to over and over and over. But I could definitely see buying a copy of this for my wife or my husband, because they love this kind of game.
It is. I think it's kind of like, for some people that I've heard talk about it, and I can kind of see it too because I've played it. Is that it's kind of a Zen-like too. Whether you're a casual gamer or not, it's kind of nice just to sit back and just do stuff. You know what I mean? It's entertaining, but at the same time, it's just kind of there to just chill out and achieve whatever goals you have in game and make progress.
No. And you know, I get that. My stuff, like I don't.
I understand that type of game doesn't appeal as much to me personally.
This is sort of like, this falls under the category of game where, and I include Minecraft in this genre, of make sure that you can have fun with yourself, because you are going to be like basically giving yourself the point of the game. Right. So like in Minecraft, like I'll get burned out on Minecraft because like I'll have a few cool ideas and then I'll do them and then I'll be like, all right, cool, that's all the ideas that I have in me, and I've played 2 weeks of Minecraft nonstop and now I'm sick of it.
But Minecraft's a lot more open in that case. Like this
this
gives you goals. Well, like you have quests basically.
It does, and I think that would be what would allow me to play it for longer. I mean, continuing with using Minecraft as our example, since we've already done that, I have not touched Minecraft in a year and a half. It's been 18 months since I last logged in and played on my world in Minecraft. I could see myself playing this for a couple of months. I don't know as I could see myself playing this the same way that I play.
Well, here's another sort of important detail.
Okay.
Although this game is completely released and you can go buy it right now on Steam for $15, they are still working on adding multiplayer into the game.
That's kind of interesting.
That might change it.
And he was basically like, there are two ways to look at it: either launch when both are completely finished, or launch when the single player is finished and then release multiplayer later. And so that's what they're releasing, multiplayer at a later date. They don't have a date for that yet, but that is what they are currently working on.
That's kind of interesting.
Up to 4 player co-op. I like that.
Hey, you know what? If that's the case, I could really get into this game. This is
might
the episode of games that you sink a lot of time into because you're really passionate about them. That's the episode. Indie Game Riot, episode 83.
Episode 83, Goodbye Social Life.
Goodbye Social Life episode.
If we
Stardew Valley.
Anyway.
Concerned Ape, $15 on Steam.
By the way, speaking of $15 on Steam, and speaking of how we talked about games, I think this game would be worth $20, to be honest.
I'm
surprised $15 is what they're charging.
Can I be like a little bit of a, I don't know, I might seem like a huge dick when I say this. I don't think that, I mean, like, some of the visuals of this game don't really do it for me, and that's why I don't think I would pay $20 for it.
Okay.
But like, it's like character design stuff. Like, I think the UI is fine, and most of the sprite work is fine.
The reason I would think $20 is I'm surprised that it's that cheap is just because the amount of stuff that you can do. It's just so.
Well, you also have to think about it that I feel like a lot more people are going to be willing to drop $15 on this game versus that extra $5.
You mentioned
I see what you're saying.
Here, look at it this way. You mentioned like it's like Harvest Moon, right?
Yeah.
So say you had to go buy it at its say they made it for 3DS, like a re-release.
Okay.
How much would it cost? $30?
Probably like $30, $40.
$40 for Harvest Moon. And say they didn't really add anything, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's worth it.
And this is $15 for more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the other reason I was thinking maybe $20 probably. But hey, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about 15. I genuinely think that they'll end up making more money having it be 15 than they would if they made it 20. Because I feel like the $15 level is like a really accessible price for a lot of people.
And technically, you can actually spend $20 on it if you want to get the soundtrack.
Yeah,
the soundtrack's $5.
So yeah,
you know what? I'd buy the soundtrack, no problem.
Yep. There you go. I'm not sure how I feel about the soundtrack yet because I haven't really listened to it a whole lot, like through the game. Mm-hmm. From what I have heard, I probably would not, just because it's not the kind of music I would just sit and listen to. But some people are into it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you can just, or you can just support the dev.
Yeah.
You know how else we can support?
Support our wallets, because we're not going to have to take anything out of them in free fun.
What?
Oh,
did you time travel?
Yeah, I did.
Tech time travel.
Get out our wallets because we're going to a peep show.
Support
Shit.
Supportive bras at the Peep Show.
Oh wow. Sorry.
At least make it somewhat tied in.
The
It's
break
Peep-
threw it off. The break threw it off.
It's Peep Show.
Please give all your attention to Early Access.
And this week on Peep Show, see, I got it right this time, guys. We're talking about Faeria, or I guess Faeria is the only way you're going to be able to pronounce it. It's Faeria. It's got the ash, the AE in there. But Faeria is a strategy card game meets, I guess, turn-based turn-based strategy game.
It's like strategy tabletop
RTS.
to me.
Yeah, strategy tabletop sort of style. In a similar vein to Hearthstone.
Call it
What's
a
that?
4X game.
A 4X game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect. It's a 4X card game where you have your guys with your normal Magic the Gathering slash Hearthstone style stats and effects, but instead of them being on a flat table hitting each other in the face, they are on a map. A 4X map, then you have to move them around, and it's sort of got honestly.
It adds
I can modify the map. That's the part that I'm really intrigued.
It adds
with.
it adds more depth, like a different depth of strategy that you have to think about in the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool mechanic that you not only have to worry about your cards, but also the positioning, and like you said, you can manipulate the actual table that it's on.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a desert here because you're playing a water-based deck, and I'm really loving the depth behind this. Just the implied depth.
And it's so weird too because Josh was like, I don't know if we should talk about this. This game looks a little bit,
The reason I was afraid to talk about it really is because I'm afraid that this game is going to go the way of Moonrise and start trying to do microtransactions and shit.
Oh, they're probably going to.
And I was like,
but it's for cards. It's
I know.
the same thing that all these. Well,
Hearthstone.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I know.
See, Hearthstone's free.
It's free to play, but then you
But
pay money for the micro.
It costs to win.
Yeah.
Even though they say it's not pay to win.
Whereas
it
Faeria is $25 early access.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
And
Let's look at their fair business model.
Oh, okay. So this is the early access bundle.
And Hearthstone makes you pay for fucking expansions and shit like that, and like the adventures, and so you can't even get those cards that are involved with that without paying, and that's what. And that's all Hearthstone's like. Oh, we're not pay to win, even though you are, because you're giving good cards away to people who are only willing to pay.
Nope. Here you go. Here you go. So, you can get your booster packs. You earn gold and can buy that way. You can also they're including a single transaction per set. So rather than buying I'm buying a pack and I'm buying a pack and I'm buying a pack, they're doing per set. The core set is 256 unique cards. You pay $50, you get them all. Every booster pack that you acquired for any booster packs that you bought before they release that, they'll refund you your in-game gold.
Also, once it comes full release, which they are planning in September of 2016, it is going to go free to play. Right now, the $25 gets you the ability to play it now and gets you I just saw it. 20 booster packs, 10 arena tickets, and an early access exclusive avatar orb, and you can see that in a little image on their Steam page. That's okay.
I think that's a fair deal. I think that's a fair deal for.
I think that's a great way to market it.
To help with early access funding.
Give people in-game stuff that they would have to buy otherwise for beta access.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, that's clever. And mind you, that also isn't cheap. $24.99, $25 is a little bit higher.
I spent $60 on StarCraft 2. I played it for 8 hours. I have no problem dropping, $75 on a trading card game that I will probably put 30 plus hours into.
Well, it also, I guess it also depends on how they deal with like public games and getting into games and leveling and making sure that matchmaking is fair.
They are building this around the idea of esports. Like the whole thing is being built around, like they have an integrated. They're working on integrated tournaments, so that like you will have a constant ladder going that you can throw yourself into and start. They're going to be going with a official annual circuit with major league and minor league. Like this whole thing is designed to be like the League of Legends of 4X Magic the Gathering games.
So
you know what? I think that if there's a game that is going to try to do that, it is this one.
Here's my worry though.
Okay.
It wants to be like esports. First of all, what are the chances it's going to be like the next Hearthstone? Probably pretty slim. I mean, it's the same way that like a lot of MMOs try and take down World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
almost
man.
impossible.
But here's the thing.
The other reason
motherfuckers spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on Magic cards, man.
Magic cards, yeah.
But
these are games that have an entrenched reputation and an entrenched fan base. You know what I mean? Like this came out of nowhere.
But here's the thing.
And people are going to look at this and going to be like, oh, it's a Hearthstone rip with just a few more mechanics. Even though it's, I mean, obviously...
Which it is. Like, let's be fair.
Yeah.
That is ultimately what it is. This is and Hearthstone is a rip of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Right.
There's...
But you also, Hearthstone also had the backing of Blizzard. You know what I mean? This is just some company.
But that means that they're not. They don't deserve success.
No, they do. I'm not saying they don't.
Fucking you on microtransactions.
I'm not saying that they don't deserve success. I'm just saying what are the chances, and then because of that, and I mentioned like going the way of Moonrise, even if it's not microtransactions, because of their chances of being what they want to be. What happens if they don't? Are they just going to drop off the face of the planet?
I don't know, man.
And then you're stuck with a game that doesn't get updated anymore? No one's going to play that.
I genuinely believe that there's more game here than in Moonrise. Now, I'm not trying to bash Moonrise, but
Let me... You know what? I'm gonna do some digging on this
by the way,
now.
servers, if they just shut down.
By the way, well, they at the moment, it is cross-platform.
Wow.
Like any
maybe it was this I was thinking of earlier.
It's currently only accessible on PC, so Windows and Mac, but it will be Linux, Xbox One, iOS, Android, and PlayStation 4 capable, and you'll be able to transfer between those in any way, shape, or form.
And just to put it into perspective, currently, the total number of players who are playing Faeria at some point is 2,642. So 2,642 people.
For a game that's been in early access, how long?
Not very. The 29th. It came out on the 29th.
Well, on Steam,
okay, so,
but it's had
Kickstarters,
betas and Kickstarters and things like that. But I'm just saying, 2,000 people is not that much when you're talking about trying to build an online community where
there are 4,000 owners. 4,000 people own it.
Yeah, no, I see what Josh is saying. Like when you compare it when you try and compare it to the multi-million-dollar user base of Blizzard, it's not very much. But for an independent game made by how many people are involved? I couldn't find that. That was
not Blizzard. That's how many.
Not Blizzard numbers. At Breakum Entertainment. How many? Team. I want to see this.
Now, and you mentioned like I want it to succeed. I just
there's 7 people.
have my doubts.
There's 7 people here. Whether you have doubts as to whether or not they will break Hearthstone.
No, I don't think it's ever going to break Hearthstone.
But my point is, it is competing.
Well, but
the fact that
it
exists
Hearthstone
means it's competing.
But see, also Hearthstone isn't in that sort of
competing
hardcore,
doesn't mean winning.
Like I feel like this game is almost striving to be a little bit more than Hearthstone, because Hearthstone isn't League of Legends.
Right.
You know? Like, in terms of competitive game, like, Hearthstone is not Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
It's got some pretty heavy tournaments and stuff.
But it's not like as big. You know? Like, I feel like, and I'm not saying that this game...
Pure Ownage didn't do a movie about Hearthstone. We'll say that.
Okay.
Anybody else that gets that reference, you deserve it, and we'll talk later.
I feel like this has the potential to be like a StarCraft sort of deal. Maybe not like to that same scale, but it's yeah.
Multiplayer Endless Space? Or Masters of Orion, or Heroes of like I see this as being a PvP 4X game.
Yeah.
Plus Magic. I have no problems with this. I
want it to succeed because it looks cool. I'm afraid that I'm afraid to pay for it in early access. Like if it goes free to play, then sure, obviously I would try it. But I'm afraid that I'm going to have this game, buy it for $25 and then it's going to, they're going to not be able to run the servers. They're not going to be able to continue updating it.
Can I make one gripe? One kind of big gripe about their
before I lay into Josh. Go quick.
So I was looking for the press kit, because maybe that they'd have more concise information in the press kit that I could easily read without all the fancy website, which the website looks good. Go to the press kit and it says press kit, and I just clicked it, and it's just a Dropbox link with a bunch of pictures. And I get it, you need those pictures, but give me some information. Give me an email, or you put all of it on one page. Don't just give me pictures. Don't call it a press kit.
Some people don't really understand what a press kit is.
Is that all it is?
Yes, that's all it is.
I feel like I found more information
because on the press kit it says, "Are you looking to create a community about Faeria?
Right. No,
maybe a deck builder of your own, or are you a member of the press? We got you covered. All public assets are available here, but it doesn't have.
Assets.
They've got some screenshot. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It doesn't have what we would consider to be a
information
press kit. The information that goes along with that.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that they're letting people make their own forums with some of the actual assets of the game. That's awesome. Good on them. But come on, give me something. I don't know if you can. You can't see me, but I'm shaking all the jiggly parts. Come on,
I get you,
guys.
I get you. It works. No, I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I will definitely be watching this with interest, and it'll have to wait. I have other priorities, but I would be willing to buy this game.
Yeah, definitely. It is currently $25 early access on Steam, or you could wait until around September and pick it up free to play. That's Faeria by, I don't want to get this wrong,
Abracum.
That's another thing. I can't find any of that information.
Abracam.
Easily. Abracam 2016. Check it out.
You know what else we should check out?
Pizza.
Pizza's good.
Can you check out
sorry,
pizza?
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
Is that a thing that we can do? Check out pizza?
Yeah,
but you know what?
Like
you know what's a
library?
lot cheaper than pizza?
Free fun.
And this week on Free Fun, we have a PvP web browser tower defense game. I never thought I'd use that in a sentence, but it's called Coregrounds. It's made by a single individual who runs No Life Labs. His name is Mario. I ran into him on a Reddit thread and was kind of talking about our stuff, and hey, people should pay attention because there's things that you can learn. And he was very gracious enough to give us press accounts that gave us a slight boost in money and experience, just so we could get our fingers into it a little bit better.
this is like I said, it's a tower defense that you build the not just the towers, but also the map itself. It's an open world map, PvP, and you know there's some very interesting mechanics that I would be greatly excited to get a little bit deeper into. Some of the stuff like the banning mecanic and stuff like that. Like what kind of algorithms does that imply? But it's I've thoroughly enjoyed every game that I've played after I played my first game.
It is a really interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the build your map tower defense.
You know, I've played a lot of I've played
Balloons?
many hours of balloons. I've played many hours of. I've actually played Sanctum.
Yeah,
I've played a lot of Sanctum. I love my tower defense games, and this one's pretty fun.
This has been by far the most fun I've had in a tower defense,
And it's free.
And it's free, and it works in your browser. There are some
That's
things.
what's cool to me is that it's fully browser.
Yeah. Some of the things that might trip you up a little bit. If you're watching the video right now, there's that blank square all the way on the left in the menu. That's a wall. You can select that and build a wall there. I did not know that.
And there's also the cooldowns. Like there's a lot of depth into this game. So like everything's on a cooldown, and if you build a wall into a wall, if I'm recalling correctly, the wall cooldown is shortened. So if you're constantly building walls, you can build more walls. But as soon as you like either build a turret or start spawning stuff after a certain amount of time, the walls actually have a longer cooldown.
Yeah, there is a lot of mechanical depth, and they've been doing tournaments on this. Mario he says he was inspired by League of Legends and Hearthstone in terms of the head-to-head PvP aspect, and this. A very interesting tournament. I'm never going to be competitive at this game. I'll tell you now.
Definitely not good enough.
I'm having a hard time beating the AI that required 4 more times to start playing actual players. So
I wonder how many people. I wonder how large the player base is for this.
My account. If the number is accurate, I have account number 804.
Okay.
Okay.
So
and you plan on going back to it?
Oh yeah, no, I've been playing it off and on since I first sent the info over to Josh.
And that was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, by this time, who knows? It could be in the thousands.
Yeah.
That's not bad, and especially considering a free browser game too. It's the one other gripe, because you mentioned like the blank wall thing. The one other gripe is that it doesn't give you very good explanation as to the usage or what things are that you can build and that sort of stuff.
You sort of have to learn.
There are tutorials that you go through,
and you're gonna need to get those.
Right. So it's suggested that you watch them, but even I watched them, and even then I was like, I don't really know what these are. So
Each tower, as well as each spawn, also has a full upgrade path. There AOE stuff. There's defense. This is a really.
There's a lot of depth, and different games can play different ways because you don't have like a set group of units that you're taking into battle every single time. Like you have to choose, and then certain things are banned, and then you have special abilities, and then you have units, and then you have towers, and all of that can be different every single time you play if you want. I mean, you're not going to get like unlimited combinations, but there's enough variety in this game to really challenge any play style.
Whoever's playing this, by the way, I feel like they're getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, they're not doing too well.
But yeah, this.
Well, neither of them have taken any damage thus
No.
far.
Blue Guy's taking damage.
Blue, they've taken
did he?
damage. Yeah.
I think he's been repairing it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, it doesn't look like he. Anyways,
I would say though that this game is really cool conceptually,
Yep.
And other than like a couple like very minor gripes, it's once you learn it, it's really fun to play, and it's free and it's in browser, so there's no excuse not to play.
Yeah.
Really.
Go have fun.
Go defend your towers.
Watch the tutorial,
Against
though.
your friends, yeah.
Definitely watch the tutorial.
Watch the tutorial video.
All of the
otherwise
tutorials.
Yeah.
You will be ridiculously slow. And I'm not going to. I'm going to continue on with my lack of understanding, and because I want to give it a true experience. See how that works.
You just want an excuse to suck.
Yeah.
You know what else is an excuse to suck?
The end of the show, because that sucks. This is the end of the show. We, if you didn't know, we have a Patreon that you can support us on. Please consider doing so because it helps us reach goals that we have for Indie Game Riot, the podcast, also Indie Revolution Expo. Which, by the way, go sign up. Your games and your panels, and there's a game jam too. Prizes to win. But again, patreon.com/Indie Game Riot. Please consider donating there. The other way that you can help is also by contacting us. You can, first of all, come to our live show, which goes every Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on hitbox.tv/JaShinYa, where you can chat with us right in the chat area. Just tell us whatever your thoughts are right there. Or you can just go on Twitter at IGR Podcast or Facebook.com/IGR Podcast. Or you can, of course, email us, contact@IndieGameRiot.com. All this and more, by the way, is on IndieGameRiot.com.
Yes.
Last words, gentlemen, before I lose my voice.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I want to play some games. Let's play some games.
What are you going to play?
I don't know. I probably Rocket League.
Wait, are you playing on PS4 or Steam?
Steam.
Okay, never mind. Well, I can still play you again.
Yeah, you totally can.
Because it's cross-platform.
You'll totally kick my ass.
Probably. Or we can go on the same team.
That's true.
Well, say your goodbyes then.
See you next time, guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Toodles.